That song Tomorrow that turned the Newcastle trio Silverchair into global superstars, and it changed everything. Best friends, schoolmates, Ben Gillies, Chris Joannou and of course Daniel Johns. And they launched head first at a really young age into fame, into the rock and roll lifestyle with all of its trappings. A lot of pressure, a lot of scrutiny, and it ended as explosively as it started too. Their friendship broke down and in 2011 the band officially broke up. Since then, there's been a lot of spotlight on the former lead singer, on Daniel Johns, because he's had a lot of struggles, a lot of successes too with his solo career, which has been well documented. But now Ben and Chris have decided to tell their side of the story, and they've written a book called Love and Pain. And it hasn't been without controversy either, because the ABC's Australian Story had a double episode and they had to pull down one of the episodes about the pair because of a conflict with Daniel over music rights. And Daniel Johns has said he's been denied a chance to fact-check the book. So there's a lot going on, and Ben and Chris are in the studio with me now. Fellas, welcome to Afternoons.
Good afternoon.
Thanks for having us.
It is great to be able to relive and rehear a lot of this fantastic music that you guys are responsible for, because Silverchair, you guys rocked, and you rocked not just here in Australia but all around the world.
Yeah, look, the band had much great success, and it was an extremely wild ride. And I guess we sat in the middle of that crazy storm for many years, and the book's been a great opportunity just to sort of, work through those memories and great stories and park them all in one place.
Yeah, and it's easy to forget just how young you guys were. I mean, one of you was at the Pizza Hut, weren't you, when you were celebrating your 15th birthday, when that song went to number one?
Yeah, I think it was my 15th birthday.
I think it was,
Pizza Hut in
yeah.
Newey. And we got the call from our manager.
Awesome party.
It was a great party.
You would have just been worried about all you can eat.
Yeah. But we got a call from our manager and the guys from Sony, and they said, you guys are number one. And we were basically like, yeah, great, guys, cool. We just need to get back to the all-you-can-eat bar.
Because the concept of what you'd achieved, it would have sort of been, you wouldn't have sunk in really for kids. School boys from Newcastle wouldn't have really hit you.
No, I think a lot of the enormity of it and it just everything going on around us a lot of the time probably did, probably wasn't really in our sights or capturing most of our attention. Just, I guess we were young guys experiencing life and living in this world that I guess to a degree we just felt was normal.
Yeah. We were definitely ambitious. Like, we wanted to be a great band. We wanted to be a big band.
Well, you were a great band. I mean, you wanted to be, but you were.
But I guess all the successes that came with it, like once our wishes became a reality, I think a lot of it was a little bit over our heads. But I guess the good thing about our intentions was that the music, at the core of it, the music and making great music and being a great band was always the driving force, So, the being chart positions and album sales, that they were all great, but we always focused on making great music.
And the rock and roll lifestyle caught up with all of you.
Yeah, look, I think
the drugs, the alcohol, all of it.
Yeah, and I whether it's just through that age, your teenage years into your 20s and all the rest of it, you're going through a lot of sort of personal development and growth and all that sort of stuff, and probably trying to essentially find out where the limit is, But
I mean, you had your parents with you travelling in the early days, didn't you? I mean,
we did, yeah.
And you went back to school. You were, here you are topping the charts, and you're back in the classroom trying to live a normal life. And in that first episode of Australian Story, which was really lovely, seeing you revisiting the school and even the garage that you used to play in, it must have been a nice walk down memory lane for you guys too.
It was, and we've kind of reminded ourselves of a lot of great things that we did together, and the book has definitely given us opportunity to celebrate some of those moments.
That friendship broke down though, didn't it, between the three of you and between the two of you?
Yeah.
How were you able to mend it?
Well, that had a lot to do with alcoholism, which I struggled with for a long time, and I got sober, probably like 8 or 9 years ago. I've had a couple of bumps in the road, but it hasn't been a perfect ride, but mostly sober. But there's a certain clarity that you get once you stop drinking after a certain amount of time. And one of the main things that was important to me was to mend those important friendships. And obviously Chris is a very important friendship of mine. You know, we've shared so much together. We've had a 40-year friendship.
You're like brothers.
Yeah,
Really.
100%. So, you know, it was really on me. So I contacted Chris and you know, we met up and just laid everything on the table and basically said I didn't mean anything that I said and I'm sorry, and we've never looked back.
And you've had some real health challenges as well, Chris, which I know Ben's been with you during that. I mean, cancer and a heart attack, for goodness sake.
Yeah, look, life's definitely thrown its fair share of challenges. I guess, I don't know, it definitely shows you how important life really is, and it's there to enjoy and not dwell. And, you know, yeah, go for those things that you find important and special. And
yet that friendship can't be rekindled, it seems, at this point with Daniel. Do you think it's ever going to happen?
I mean, never say never. I think the book itself is actually a bit of an invitation. But at the moment, you know, we're on different trajectories and we're all doing our own things. You know, Chris and I both have young families and we're working on different projects. But, you know, who knows? I don't know, it's like anything could happen in the future.
And friendship is at the core of how you guys started. So it's pretty sad, really, that those young boys, you know, that you can't rekindle it. I hope for your sake that you can. Do you have any regrets about writing the book, though? Because it has brought a lot of that to the fore. And, of course, it hasn't been without controversy with Daniel not happy with the first episode of Australian Story, the music rights, and also with not being able to fact check the book. Any regrets about it?
No, not for me. I find the book was a really cathartic process for myself. I definitely personally struggled with the situation the band found itself in. It you know, it was so much of your life. It was your whole life. Yeah, to just resolve that section of your life and be comfortable with where it was and where it's at, the book definitely helped me do that. So, you know, and it also reminded me of the 95% of the other times, which were absolutely...
That's a good high percentage.
Ball-tearing amazing.
That's a good percentage.
You want to hope that it is a higher percentage than the other way around.
Look, it is called Love and Pain, and there's a reason for it for the people that read it. There is, you know, we're brutally honest and upfront and open, and there are some painful and challenging moments, but we definitely lean more into the love and the celebration and the incredible experiences that Daniel and Chris and I shared, and the times before and after the band as well. And, you know, I think anyone that reads it will realise that it's a celebration of the band and our time in the band.
And music's still a part of your lives?
Yeah, look, for me, a little bit, not as much, nowhere near as much as it used to be.
Because you live up in Coffs now, my hometown.
Beautiful Coffs Harbour these days. But Ben, you know, I guess Ben's definitely got a bit more of a toe still in the water.
Yeah, I'm still active. I guess it's
still on the sticks.
Still on the sticks. Look, it's more of a hobby these days for me, you know. But I do, just like when we started Silverchair. You know, we started playing music together before anything took off because of our love of it, and I've always had that love and passion, and that I don't think that will ever dim. And I just want to be playing music and creating music in any way or form.
And I know that I'll be talking to Bo Ryan later in our next hour. I know that you're one of the celebs involved in the race.
Yes. And
you've been put to the test in that regard. I've seen the first episode in Delhi, and yeah, that's a challenge.
I've been approached to do a bunch of different reality shows, it's just been an outright no across the board. But yeah, when I was approached for that was it's the one show that I think you chase those exciting moments, right? And I've always loved that show, and I was like, yeah, bugger it, I'm going to do it. It just looks so fun, and it was an amazing experience.
Yeah, well, we'll talk to Bo Ryan a little bit later and see if we can get the dirt on some of the other challenges that the celebs faced along the way. Well, look, all power to you, and I know that there was a lot of water under the bridge for both of you, and the fact that you were able to mend those bridges and write the book is testament to you both. And I hope for your sake and for your family's sake, as well as for the Silverchair fans, of which there are many, that you can also repair that relationship with Daniel down the track. But fellas, thanks so much for coming in.
Thanks
for having us.
Ben and Chris there from Silverchair. And yeah, what a act they were, and their music still is to this day, and it's great to be able to relive some of the great music from Silverchair as a result of this book. It's 1:20 here on Afternoons.